welcome to Traveling with Diamonds. I'm Barry. This is a WIP Chat. I need to start my watch. Sorry, this is taking a minute. How is everybody? Oh, I did the wrong thing. Sorry, how is everybody doing? It is Friday afternoon. I am still trying to set the timer on my watch, which I always should do beforehand, but there we go. Now, how is everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's been a very busy day. I'll get into that. Hopefully the setup for the WIP Chat is working okay. I am working on this section right here that we will get cut. And welcome to my 113 subscribers. I'm so grateful for you. If you're new here, please consider subscribing if you like this content. This is a diamond painting channel. And to everyone else, hello. I hope you're doing well. So I am working on Home is Where the Magic Is, which is a Randall Spangler. It was my winter seasonal house that I'm doing this first 3 months of the year, and I am not going to finish it before the end of March. We'll get into that, but it's just not going to happen. But we're still working on it as much as we can so that hopefully we can start on the next one not too far into April. But yeah, the plastic, yeah. We have our Amazon box cover minder, which I forgot to write down where that came from. I'm so sorry. I always have to look it up. If you look back at some of my other WIP Chats, you can find out. And the cat is eating. So Wally is eating. So if you hear that in the background, it's pretty close to the camera. I'm filming on my TV tray. I'm using a Muni-made purple tray in the old style. And I think Butterfly Effects wears pen. But it's an older pen. It's a couple of years old, and it is my favorite. Although they have one coming out this weekend that's really going to give this one a run for its money. But it's a very similar style. So I'm excited about those ones coming out this weekend. So we are diamond painting Home is Where the Magic Is. And we are at the very bottom of... I start at the top of most of my kits. And it was fun to start at the top, do the sky, do the house. Now we're in the landscaping on the bottom. And some of the bottom of the house and some of the characters. And I'm trying to find, there it is, a drill. I always start in the bottom right corner of a section when I open it. That is just my very methodical diamond painting style. But hopefully the setup is okay. I know I've had some trouble with some past ones. I've figured out how to lock the and I know, like, I figured out how to lock the focus on the camera, but a couple of times I've tried that, the focus becomes too soft. So, because it's hard to see because it films like in this reduced color field in this setting for whatever reason, maybe because I don't have a lot of storage on my phone, or I don't know. I do need to clean off my phone of all these videos and move them over and put them on the drive I bought. And my phone is plugged in, which may or may not work today. We're just trying different things. I haven't necessarily done this exact setup before, but something pretty close, and I think it works. The table itself moves, but I'm hoping with the focus not moving with the table, it won't be too bad to watch. But it's also a WIP Chat, so some people treat these like podcasts and do their own diamond painting or housework or trying to go to sleep or whatever. And all those, work fine, or whatever else you do this with, and just listen. So I understand that. And I say a lot. Because I'm not looking at my notes. So let's talk about the WIPs. So this has obviously become my most focused WIP, but I didn't diamond paint hardly at all this week. I mean, this section over here, which I see a drill popped up. This section over here is the first diamond painting I've done since Sunday. And I did that earlier today. Like, it's just been a weird week. I've felt a little off all week. I'll get into that a little bit. So, I wasn't able to get more diamond painting done on this that I wanted to, but I've been kind of focusing on this as the month has ended because I'm really ready to finish this kit. As much fun as it's been, I'm ready to finish this kit and move on to the next one. And some new kits in April. We'll get into that too. I keep saying everything we'll get into because it's in my notes. But let's talk about the WIPs first. I have to look at my notes. So I have Mulan, Tiny Warrior. There are 6 sections left of that, so I could knock that out at any point, but I may take that with me traveling next week, and get it knocked out in a hotel room. I like to take a kit with me when I travel. I'm not gonna travel with this big kit. This kit is very heavy. This kit is very long. This kit is, what is it, 107 centimeters. It's gotten really, really heavy. So it's hard to set it up to do a WIP Chat because I'm on the bottom and the end is so heavy and it's so long that if I'm going to have to rest it on the ottoman when I work on the bottom row, I think, because otherwise I can't get the weight supported right. Like on my craft table, I can't get the weight supported right on here unless I do it at long ways on my craft table and maybe worked on the long end. That could work. But like if I worked on the end of the craft table and let it go long ways on the craft table, like that could work. But on my and I'm going on a tangent here, I realize. On my TV tray couch setup, I can't quite get everything weighted right, on the bottom to the cat is coming to. I don't know what the cat is doing. What you doing, Wally? Hi. I'm diamond painting. Are you coming to help? Are you coming to help? You normally don't want to sit in my lap when I diamond paint. That could be interesting. You won't show up on screen, but so if you hear purring, it's the cat. It's the cat Wally. But yeah, just the weight of the end of this kit is because it's so long, and once you put diamonds weigh a decent amount. The plastic, weighs a certain amount, and or the resin. Is that the word? Resin? Maybe. Sometimes I get words mixed up on the WIP Chats. But anyway, Mulan Tiny Warrior only has 6 sections left. I will probably travel with that kit next week. And maybe get that finished. And then we have Glorious Purpose, which I've done like 2 rows and a few sections. So it has 30 sections left. It's just, there's a lot to it. That one's gonna kind of go, it's not gonna be a focus kit. It's not gonna go on hold, but it's not gonna be a focus kit. Just because I have other priorities of kits that I want to focus on. So we will get back to Loki and get him finished at some point, but it's not a focus to get finished on right now. And then I have my temperature project, and those are my 4 WIPs right now. I have a few projects on hold, 1 project on indefinite hold. I finished the Orlo animals. I wonder if I can put this up here and it won't be on screen. Yeah, that might work. Okay, just moving my notes. And Wally's come to hang out beside me. So he's gonna be the supervisor. Drills never stay real well next to this tape. So I finished the Orlo animals. I finished them out part of the mini DP Madness event in March. So they're awfully cute. They were fun to work on, but I was glad to kit it down because they had 80 colors, and I had bought a special like container from Amazon that had tiny Tic Tac containers and Tic Tac size containers. Tic Tac. Yeah, containers, and they weren't the best things to work with in the world. They were fine. They worked for what I needed. But I was glad to get it kitted up and put away, or at least from the tools I was using for it. But the little animals were so cute. And I really want to get a new mini set, but I may not get one up for April. I may just wait a while before I get another mini set up. We'll see. We'll see. If I start traveling a lot, I'll probably kit a mini setup. But I haven't been traveling a lot. So I am traveling next week though. But yeah, I haven't been traveling a lot. I've lost all my status. So what did I purchase this week? I purchased Dragon Riders by Chrisabug. From Jaded Gem Shop. It should arrive next week because it was a pixel charted in stock kit. And as we'll get to at the end of the WIP Chat, I finished Fourth Wing and thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I would give that book like a 4.75 out of 5. Like, I know some people don't like the decimal points, but I just think you need more than 5 numbers to rate books. So anyway, I would give it like, yeah, 4.75 out of 5. I thought it was very good. I enjoyed listening to it. I was always grateful when I had time to listen to it. And so Dragon Riders by Chris Above is fan art of the main characters, Violet and, oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Satan? Something like that. And it's them in their black riding gear, and they ride dragons. And yeah, and her silver hair, and yeah, it's a neat kit. But it's just fun to have kits that's fan art of a book you liked. And then we'll get into my April plan since I started talking about that. So the next kit in my seasonal Randall Spangler houses is Springtime Splendor, which is significantly smaller. It's like 25% smaller. It's like 75% the size of this kit. So it should, the 3 months, I should definitely get it finished in the 3 months. Now, the last 2 seasons are huge. Like this kit, I just don't know why the springtime one didn't get put at this, big size. Maybe it just didn't need it. I'm pretty sure it's a square. Yeah, the box is blue. But, and it's still big. It's just not ginormous. Like this one had 100 and something sections, and that one's only going to have 70. So it may be even 30% less, not 25. So that's the kit. When I finish this kit, I'm going to kit that kit up. And then Minx Arts and Crafts, Alyssa, and Anxiety. Oh, I'm going to get it wrong. Anxiety Art something are doing a Labuka event next month. So I am going to participate in that, probably with kitchen cats, because it's the smaller of the like non-Christmas Labukas I have, and I don't have laundry cats. I think that's the one I'm missing is laundry cats. Unless they do a restock of laundry cats, at which point I may change. Laundry cats is the blue one, I think. Yeah. I'm missing the blue one. But kitchen cats is yellow. Yellow's not my most favorite color, but it's a pretty small kit. And I know some people change the colors on it. I don't want to go through that effort. So I will keep it as its yellow color. And Cat Schemes is pink. And then there's like, I have Winter Cat, and I have one more Christmas one, but I can't remember what it's called. But so I'm going to do Kitchen Cat, so I'm going to kit that up sometime in the next week and participate in that event because I love the Labuka cats. I think they're so cute. I follow her on Instagram and the artist, and all the images she makes of those fluffy cats is just so cute. And then I've been tutoring, to kind of change topics. That's my April plans, is to get, just to recap, is to work on Springtime Splendor once I get Home is Where the Magic Is finished, and then kit up Kitchen Cats maybe before my trip, probably when I get home from my trip next weekend. And then, yeah, I've been tutoring. So I tutor for Wise Ant, which is like a tutoring platform, kind of like a tutoring marketplace. Like, you apply to jobs, and people post jobs, you apply to them. It's good. It's probably one of the best paying ones because you can set your own rate. You know, because you are an independent contractor and you apply to jobs. So my first 4 jobs were Excel, and I got 2 5-star reviews and 1 no review. You know, I had to brush up on some of the more hard professional expert Excel tasks that you have to do. But I was able to help everybody, and I think I did a good job. And it was fun. And then I had an Algebra 2 session on Tuesday night. And there's just so much I wish I had done differently. Like, I have to get back into that swing of tutoring algebra to begin with. And just, I wish I was a little tired because it was with the Pacific Coast girl. And so it was like at 8 o'clock my time, and that is usually my bedtime. So, but I wanted to get an algebra tutoring under my belt, and this was logarithms, and we did pretty good. Like, there was a few times I spoke wrong and had to correct myself. I just need to get more practice, I think, and it was tricky stuff. I mean, the practice problems were really complex, and they had a lot of steps, and the platform, like, she didn't want to write out on the platform. Like, there's a classroom that you have a whiteboard and stuff in, and she didn't want to write out on the whiteboard, which I get it. Writing with a mouse on a whiteboard is hard. Do you hear the birds? The birds are very loud outside my window. You can probably hear them. They are so loud. It made Wally move. I love the sound of birds, but man, these are loud. What are they doing, Wally? Oh, so loud. Sorry, distracted by the birds like the cat is. But yeah, so I think I wish I had a clear view of what she was doing with the problem. You know, I didn't want to do the step before she did because I was trying to write it out on the whiteboard. I wanted to make sure I was writing down what she was saying. But I also didn't want to write down anything wrong. So I would try to correct her before I wrote it down. And, you know, it is hard writing with a mouse on a whiteboard. You could type in functions, but that took a little bit of time. And like, she had the concepts down pretty well. The concept she struggled with was remembering the inverse of the logarithm, which is like the exponent. You know, she had trouble remembering that the log, you know, turned into the exponent. That the log is logs. Let's get into math on a WIP Chat. Logarithms are the inverse of an exponent. It's what number gives this exponent. And so she had trouble remembering that. And I hope she did well on her test. Her test was Wednesday, but they didn't like come, you know, I don't know. They didn't tell me she did wonderful or she did bad or anything. So I don't know what happened. But hopefully I told her everything right. They haven't rated me. They haven't rated me bad. I mean her mother. They haven't rated me bad. So, like, there's that. Like, if they thought that I did poorly, you know, maybe they'd rate me bad. But they haven't rated me bad. They haven't rated me good. So, I don't really know. I think for the most part, like, we worked through a lot of problems in the hour. The thing I got hung up on was how to teach her how to graph the functions from, like, we have a program, and I forgot about it, like, on the whiteboard that'll graph the functions for you, but, like, how does that help her graph them on a test? Like, she could have seen what the function looks like, but, like, and she had down the, like, translations and all that of the function and whether it grows or decays and, you know, things like that she had down pretty well. But, like, she didn't have down how to figure out the X and Y axis, the asymptotes, things like that. And I'm probably saying words that nobody understands. But I couldn't really direct her on how to graph other than putting in points and seeing what comes out. And again, she needed that relationship between logs and exponents. So, I just wish I had done that a little differently, and I will get better. Like, there will be another, you know, tutoring session where I get to do graphs and I can try to, you know, and I can look up some stuff on how to teach somebody to graph a function. And I think I was leading her down the right path. It just, she was resistant to go down that path, and we were getting tired, both of us, because it was the end of the session. We weren't to the end. We weren't to the word problems of her study sheet yet. And I asked her, did you need help on any of those? And she said, no, those are basic formulas. Because they were like interest and stuff like that, like compounded interest and things like that. So I said, okay, so just remember those formulas. And then that was kind of the end of the session. And I think you're always going to want to have done stuff differently, but I've made some money tutoring so far, and Wise Ant gets 25% of it. And then I need to put away, and I get paid twice a month. And I need to put away 25% for taxes. And I put in the job request at my work to do a second job and got that approved. So tutoring's going pretty well. I mean, some sad things that happened last Saturday with tutoring is I failed the SAT, ACT math, and the SAT math. I rushed through them, and I shouldn't have because I was overconfident and I made silly mistakes. So I asked Wyzant, can I get a redo on these SAT math and ACT math? Because I have passed every other math test they have. Not all. I've passed everything from pre-algebra to pre-calculus. And this is well within that, you know. And I said, can I please get those reset so I can take them again? And they said, well, reset one of them. Which one do you want? So I said SAT math. And the ACT math, like, I mean, kicking myself because I just made such stupid mistakes, you know, and they have the, you know, it's multiple choice answers, and they know the silly mistakes that people make with these problems, and of course those are one of the answers. So I'll get the ACT math one reset in a year, which is a long time, but you know, time goes by fast. And you know, I can still help with ACT math. I just can't get things labeled as ACT math jobs. So I'm going to take the SAT math this weekend. I'm going to really take my time. I'm going to practice beforehand. I'm going to really take my time. I'm going to check each answer. I'm going to figure out which question, like what are the trick answers, you know, like all that. I'm going to dig into each problem very, very thoroughly and hopefully not make the same mistakes I made Saturday. And then I may take the physics exam because I think I could do pretty good on the physics exam. Because if I remember correctly, like high school physics, aside from once you get into the electronics, which I don't do as well, but high school physics is pretty drilled into me, I think. So I think I could help with that on tutor. I do need to practice. So I use ChatGPT, which I haven't talked about much yet, to help me practice, you know, for these exams. And it's just a matter of like what jobs I'm able to apply for is which tests I can proficiency exams I can pass. Those are the tests I'm able to, I mean, the tutoring jobs I'm able to apply for. So, I thought just having I'm trying to get approved on qualifications to tutor thermodynamics. But I do that for a living. So, I think I should get approved for that, and I should be able to help people with that. Some of the other college courses that I took, I'm not sure if I will try to tutor fluids or statics or dynamics or anything like that. I don't know that I could get to a proficiency on those because I don't use them every day. Like fluids I use every day, but not theoretical fluids. And we have computers now, like computer programs now, and calculators and Excel and all kinds of things that help us calculate fluids. But getting somebody proficient on the theoretical side, and theoretically on the theoretical side, I, have a good knowledge base on how fluids perform, but, yeah, just, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I never have to accept a job I don't feel comfortable with or apply for a job I don't feel comfortable with. So, just getting approved to do some of these, to apply for the jobs if I feel like it is enough. And maybe there'll be some that I can help with, and I can always, if I can understand what the student is, the topic they're working on and things like that before the tutoring session, like hopefully I'll be able to say if I can't do it. And some of this is so good for me to, like, I love learning. I love brushing up. Like, I love doing these math problems. Like, I love brushing up on some of this stuff. Like, I love the problem solving. I love the, and I just have a knowledge base that's much more extensive than the students. Even on the adult Excel, I have a knowledge base that's just more extensive than a lot of people's on Excel, on problem solving, on how to take in information and retain it, and things like that. And that's just from being an engineer for 20 plus years. So anyway, that's a long-winded thing, but I'm tutoring. I'm enjoying it. I haven't gotten any jobs since that algebra job on Tuesday, but I've applied to a lot. So it's just a matter of, I guess each student or parent gets 5 of the applications. So it's a matter of, do I get in as one of those 5? Am I competitive? I'm keeping my rate kind of low until I get like 5 reviews that are really good, at which point I may raise my rate a little higher. But yeah, so tutoring's going pretty well. And I felt a little off all week. I don't 100% know why, but I have felt a little off all week. I have slept later than I normally do. Normally I am a 4 a.m. wake up, and it started Monday. I slept till 6, and I was like, normally I go to bed around 8 and I wake up around 4. So I'm getting, close to 8 hours, but, I don't know what drills I have. I looked at the wrong symbol. What was I saying? Yeah, I've just felt really off all week. I felt like I needed more sleep. Maybe I'm fighting something. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe it's perimenopause. Maybe it's, who knows? There's a lot of things. Like there's a lot of things. Like I've changed my my meds quite a bit in the last couple weeks, like to combat anxiety. I've taken away a med, and we're letting that kind of balance. I was on too high a dose. Like I take a GLP-1. I lost a lot of weight with the GLP-1, and I lost like 90 pounds, and I take a low dose to help keep the weight off. And I had stopped taking it for the shoulder surgery, and I had put on weight. And so I had asked to go to a bigger dose to try to get the weight off, because I was feeling like the dose wasn't as working as well. The low dose wasn't working as well. And I felt like I wasn't getting calorie reduction and things like that. So I was like, well, let's go up to the next dose. So I took the next dose, and it really hasn't agreed with me. I haven't been eating enough. I have had GI issues. It's not been working well. And of course, none of that, if you're not eating enough and working out and doing PT and just living life, that can make you feel pretty icky. And, the GI issues, and who knows what else was going on with me. Like, I've just struggled this week. That's why I haven't diamond painted. I haven't been up in the mornings to diamond paint. Normally I diamond paint from like 4:30 to 6 o'clock. It's a nice time. I can get a section done, and and that's not every morning, but that's a lot of mornings. Like on Wednesdays and Fridays, I work out at 5:30, but with my trainer. But okay, what was I just looking where I picked up to? Okay. That's the time I normally wake up. Is at 4 a.m. I go to sleep around 8:30 and wake up at 4:30. And I just overslept it every week. Not overslept enough to be late to work, not overslept enough to be late anywhere, but I slept 2 hours longer than I have been. So I was sleeping closer to 9 or 10 hours. I don't know what it is. So I did talk to my hormone doctor, and we are going to try to take a little bit more estrogen every day of the cycle. Because I was just taking it on certain days of the cycle. But we're going to try to take a little bit more estrogen and see if that can help. Help me feel a little bit better. So we'll try that. It may have just been a weird fluke. I really didn't feel good on Wednesday. I kept getting headaches, and stomach was upset, and my body was just reacting to a lot of different things, and my energy was way low. And so I didn't work very many hours. I kind of got up and got some people working on some stuff, and then kind of signed out for the rest of the day. But made a few calls and then signed out. Like worked 2 hours and then signed out. I was just feeling very, very off. I was feeling like I said, just headachy and tired, and stomach was off, and nothing was feeling right. But I felt better today and yesterday than I did Wednesday. So, still sleeping a little bit longer than I, had in the past, but that's just what my body needs right now. So we will let it have that. So, my shoulder and my elbow. So I don't know, I had shoulder surgery 5 weeks ago. My shoulder's been doing pretty good. I've started going back with weights and doing overhead presses and some different shoulder movements with weights, and I'm doing pretty good with all that. But like, I aggravated my elbow in this whole process, my opposite elbow. And I have kind of a tennis elbow, kind of tendonitis thing going on. And it's been a problem because sometime in my sleep, I'm doing something that's aggravating it because I wake up with it in a lot of pain. And the PT gave me some exercises to try to stretch it and stuff like that. And then the PT also suggested this week that I start using like Voltaren, the NSAID cream on it. And that's helped a lot, actually. That's helped quite a bit, is if I keep up with kind of dosing the Voltaren cream on it. I am able to just do better with it. It doesn't hurt as much. And so that's helped. And then today at PT, they did like ultrasound on it, which I guess the waves kind of, you know, it feels like just warm pulses. I guess the waves can kind of help with tissue growth and tissue regeneration and stuff like that. So, and we did stimulation and ice and everything on my elbow and ice on my shoulder too, but not like we were pretty much focusing on the elbow a little bit, which is not what I'm there for, but you know, they're physical therapists. They know the other parts of the body, so they're helping me with my elbow too. Even though we're working towards getting the shoulder back, which the shoulder is 80% back. Like, I'm going to consider it 100% back when I am able to get back to the weights I was at. So we're at like 80%. And this was supposed to be my last week of PT, but I asked them, should I keep coming, or, you know, what do we do? This is the last week of PT. And they were like, well, why don't you make some appointments for once a week for a few more weeks? And I said, okay. So, because there's still stuff to work on, there's still muscle imbalances, and there's still some pain when I go to reach across my body with my shoulder. So there's still some weakness and some pain with kind of that over the body kind of movement. So we'll keep working on that. But I'm taking next week, because I'm traveling next week, I'm taking next week off of PT because they're not open on Friday, because Friday's Good Friday next. I believe next Friday is Good Friday. So, so that'll be good. And then, yeah, next week I'm going to Lexington, Kentucky, which is where I lived for 10 years. It is one of the main offices of the company I work for. We have some meetings with some clients and some other things going on. So it worked out. All that worked out. So hopefully they send out a meeting invite soon, because we need to invite one more person from the client as well. One more person who wants to be involved. And then yeah, so I'll be in Lexington, and I'll be there Monday through Thursday. And one night there's like trivia and stuff at, I don't know, I haven't looked up the place, but hopefully there's food. So we'll see who shows up for that. And then, because there's some other PMs going to be in town. So hopefully all that goes okay. I'm a little anxious about it, but I'm anxious about everything these days. So hopefully all that goes okay next week. It'll be good to travel again. And I'll be able to listen to a lot of audiobook on the drive. And yeah. So my plans for the weekend, I have Miss Doubtfire musical tickets on Sunday. I plan to diamond paint, do laundry, maybe take those tests for the tutoring, hopefully go for walks. It's supposed to be windy and dry because we're on a fire watch. So hopefully it's not too windy to want to be outside. Walking. But those are my plans for the weekend. And we are getting close to the end of the hour. So I haven't quite finished this section, but I never do on a WIP Chat. But I will finish it and take a picture for the thumbnail. And let's talk about what I'm reading. So I finished Fourth Wing, and Fourth Wing is by Rebecca Yarros. I listened to it. If you get a chance, I listened to the one that's narrated by Rebecca something, not the dramatized one. I didn't do the dramatized one. This is just the narrated one. And it was really good. Like I said, I give it 4.75 stars. It was for a book club that I do with some YouTubers, and I think our book club session is tomorrow night, maybe, or tonight. I forget. But I haven't seen it posted to either of their channels. So, not real sure if it's tonight or tomorrow night. But, yeah, Rebecca Yarros. So I plan to read the other 2 books in the series. The next one's called The Iron Flame. And apparently it gets much more into... They get a little heavier. They get a little, more into the world building and, some people not being who they seem and stuff like that. I don't know. ChatGPT was trying to warn me a little bit that the next book is very different than the first book. But I'm cool with that. So I'm curious to see where the story goes. And a lot of books get more intense as the series goes on. So that's not that shocking. You have to kind of start somewhere and build characters. And then you have to, move forward with them. I don't know if there's going to be a war. I don't know what's going to happen. And I've been watching The Pit. It's gotten pretty timely. I'm trying to remember if I've watched this week. Like, I think I have one more episode I can watch because they come out on Thursday nights, maybe. So I think I watched last week's episode. But I like The Pit. It's very, very good. And I watch YouTube. I watch my Disney YouTubers, and I watch diamond painting YouTubers, and it's just fun. And some other random YouTubers that I follow, like science educators and all kinds of things like that. So, well, we have a little bit more time. I'll tell you about my day. So I woke up in time for my workout. And I need to find the next color. I woke up in time for my workout, which was at 5:30 this morning. Did that. It went pretty well. I was tired though, and I woke up and I started thinking about work. It just started worrying about things that don't need to be worried about. That did need to be worried about today. Don't need to be worried about. But for whatever reason, that's what my brain was stuck on, and I so had a little bit of trouble getting that off my brain, and then because it's one of those things, like, I've done what I need to do, so there's no sense worrying about it. But sometimes the logic doesn't work with my brain. Then I had PT a little bit later, and then in between I picked up the apartment because the cleaner was coming today, and that was good. But I was also coordinating with the people coming to clean my car. So normally I try to be out of the apartment when the cleaner's here, just because it's a 2-bedroom apartment. It's not the biggest thing in the world. And having the cleaners here, sometimes she brings a helper, like, that just can make make things go now I forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying? I usually leave because it's just easier, because it's a small apartment, and so it doesn't take them long to clean when she has a helper. But sometimes it's just nicer to get out of the apartment, and but they were cleaning my car, so I couldn't go anywhere. So I had to coordinate that, and then I ran an errand down to the office to get some packages that needed to be shipped to another office. So I got those ready, took them to FedEx, and then I had a meeting, and and then I diamond painted a little bit and had lunch, and we're to here where we are today. So this weekend I'll get my nails done. It's time. I want them to be blue, I think, or periwinkle blue, or sky blue, something like that. So the next video you'll see will be Wednesday. You will see, hopefully, a month in review. It'll be the first day of April, and which is April Fool's Day, which I hate. And hopefully I'll be in Lexington. Hopefully nobody will fool me, because I just kind of am gullible, and I hate April Fool's Day because I'm gullible. So just try to stay off social media and try to seem it like it's a normal day. But okay. So yeah, that was my day, and the next video you'll see should be the March month in review. I plan to filming it early before my trip, so we'll be about 2 days early filming it, but it'll go live on the first day of April, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed listening. If you've made it this far, why don't you put a math symbol for the tutoring of math? It can be any kind of math symbol in the comments. And I'd love if you've left a comment. But I think that's all the time I have. So I will talk to you later. Be sure to like and subscribe. Bye.